A hellscape to rival anything Hollywood could produce. Wildfires bigger and wilder than any in living memory.
Los Angeles, a city known for its dreams and vibrance, is now shrouded in ash and despair. The Palisades fire has torn through over 150,000 acres, forcing families to flee their homes, leaving behind memories reduced to smoldering ruins. Iconic landmarks stand on the brink of destruction, and communities are gripped by fear as firefighters wage an unrelenting battle against the flames. Amid the chaos, the fire reveals more than just devastation. It exposes the fragility of our world and the unyielding strength of those determined to protect it. Let's begin this painful journey through loss, resilience, and the fight to reclaim hope. Overview of the Palisades fire crisis. The Palisades fire, which began as a small brush fire near Topanga Canyon on January 2, 2025, has grown into a massive wildfire engulfing over 150,000 acres of land in Los Angeles County. Despite initial containment efforts, the fire exploded in size due to a combination of record-breaking heat, persistent drought, and powerful Santa Ana winds. This inferno is one of the largest and most destructive wildfires in Los Angeles history, with local officials warning that containment could take weeks, even with extensive firefighting resources deployed. Firefighters and first responders are working around the clock, with over 3,500 personnel deployed to combat the blaze. Specialized hotshot crews, air tankers, and helicopters equipped with water buckets have been called in from neighboring states to aid containment efforts. However, the steep, rugged terrain of the Santa Monica Mountains and rapidly shifting winds have made firefighting operations exceptionally dangerous and unpredictable. Officials report that the fire remains only 25% contained as of January 7th, with new evacuation zones being declared as the fire spreads closer to densely populated neighborhoods. Evacuation orders have been issued for thousands of residents across Pacific Palisades, Brentwood, and portions of Malibu, with emergency shelters set up in locations like the Santa Monica Civic Auditorium and Pierce College. As residents flee, gridlocked traffic on key evacuation routes such as the Pacific Coast Highway and the 405 freeway has created additional challenges for emergency responders. Many families have left their homes behind with little more than the clothes on their backs, unsure if they will have anything to return to. Impact on Los Angeles: homes, landmarks, and communities. The Palisades fire has wreaked havoc across Los Angeles, threatening both residential areas and cherished cultural landmarks. Entire neighborhoods in Pacific Palisades and Brentwood have been reduced to ash, while others teeter on the edge of disaster as flames inch closer. Residents who chose to stay behind in an attempt to protect their homes are now pleading for rescue as the fire's intensity increases. Local officials stress that property can be rebuilt, but lives cannot, urging holdouts to evacuate immediately. Dozens of homes, ranging from modest bungalows to multi-million-dollar mansions, have been destroyed in the blaze. Families in the affected areas report feeling helpless as they watch the fire consume everything they own. Emergency shelters have become a lifeline for evacuees, offering basic necessities like food, water, and blankets. But these facilities are quickly reaching capacity. Volunteers and nonprofit organizations are working tirelessly to provide comfort and support to those displaced, yet the emotional toll is immense. In one particularly heart-wrenching account, a family of 4 narrowly escaped their home in Pacific Palisades, just as the flames overtook their property. The parents described how they were forced to leave behind treasured family heirlooms, photographs, and their children's favorite toys in their rush to escape. Similar stories of loss and resilience are emerging from evacuation centers, where evacuees bond over shared experiences and uncertainties about the future. The fire has not spared Los Angeles's cultural and historical landmarks. While the Getty Center's fireproof architecture and advanced sprinkler systems have thus far kept it safe, nearby neighborhoods face significant danger. Griffith Observatory, another beloved site, is under threat as ember showers from the fire encroach on Griffith Park. Local authorities and park rangers are working to protect the observatory and its surrounding trails, but the situation remains precarious. The Santa Monica Mountains National Recreation Area, a biodiversity hotspot, has suffered extensive damage. Conservationists fear for the survival of vulnerable wildlife species, including mountain lions, bobcats, and hawks, whose habitats have been devastated. Rangers and wildlife rescue organizations are racing against time to evacuate and treat injured animals, though the full extent of the ecological loss may not be known for months. Despite the destruction, acts of kindness and heroism shine through the chaos. Neighbors are opening their homes to displaced families, local businesses are donating supplies to evacuation centers, and community members are organizing fundraisers to support relief efforts. Social media platforms are being used to share critical information, reunite lost pets with their owners, and coordinate volunteer initiatives. For verified images, videos, and on-the-ground reporting, visit insert link here. National implications, policy, economy, and environmental impact. The Palisades Fire is not just a local disaster. It is a sobering reminder of the broader challenges facing the United States in an era of climate change, urban expansion, and worsening natural disasters. Experts point to several key areas where the fire's impact extends beyond Los Angeles. Scientists have long warned that rising global temperatures are contributing to more frequent and severe wildfires across the western United States. Prolonged drought conditions, reduced snowpack, and hotter summers create a tinderbox effect, making regions like Southern California particularly vulnerable. The Palisades Fire is emblematic of a larger trend, with 2025 already on track to surpass previous years in terms of wildfire activity nationwide. Policymakers are under renewed pressure to address these issues through legislation aimed at reducing greenhouse gas emissions, investing in renewable energy, and improving land management practices. The debate over climate policy has gained urgency, with advocates calling for immediate action to prevent further disasters of this scale. The economic toll of the Palisades Fire is staggering. Early estimates suggest billions of dollars in damages, including the loss of homes, businesses, and critical infrastructure. Insurance companies are bracing for a surge in claims, which will likely lead to higher premiums for residents in fire-prone areas. The tourism industry, a cornerstone of Los Angeles' economy, has also been severely impacted. Visitors have canceled trips due to poor air quality and the closure of popular attractions, while local businesses near the fire zone have been forced to shut down indefinitely. Transportation disruptions add another layer of complexity. Major highways like the 405 and PCH are critical for the movement of goods and people, and their closures have ripple effects on supply chains across the state. Ports in Los Angeles and Long Beach, which handle a significant portion of the nation's imports, could face delays if logistical operations are affected by fire-related disruptions. The ecological damage caused by the Palisades Fire will have long-term consequences for the region. Forested areas stripped of vegetation are at increased risk of erosion and mudslides, particularly during the upcoming rainy season. This creates a cyclical problem, as burned landscapes struggle to recover before being further degraded by subsequent natural events. Air quality has reached hazardous levels across Los Angeles and surrounding areas, with smoke and particulate matter blanketing the region. Hospitals are reporting a spike in cases of respiratory distress, especially among vulnerable populations like children, the elderly, and those with pre-existing conditions. Public health officials are urging residents to stay indoors, use air purifiers, and wear masks to reduce exposure. Recovery and lessons for the future. Even as firefighters work to contain the blaze, attention is already turning to the daunting task of recovery. The road ahead will be long and complex, requiring coordination at every level of government and society. Evacuation centers are playing a critical role in providing immediate relief, but more resources are needed to support displaced families. Nonprofits, charities, and corporate donors are stepping up to fill the gaps, while volunteers distribute food, clothing, and medical supplies. Fundraising efforts, both local and national, are gaining traction as Americans rally to support Los Angeles in its time of need. Rebuilding homes and infrastructure will take years and billions of dollars in funding. Policymakers are already discussing measures to improve fire resilience, such as stricter building codes, mandatory defensible space around homes, and increased funding for controlled burns to reduce fuel loads in high-risk areas. These efforts will require significant investment, but are seen as critical to preventing future disasters. The Palisades Fire also serves as a wake-up call for communities across the nation. As wildfires become more frequent and intense, there is a growing need for proactive strategies that address the root causes of these disasters, while preparing for their inevitable occurrence. As the flames of the Palisades fire begin to wane, the scars they've left behind tell a story of unimaginable loss and unshakable resilience. Families now sift through ash where their homes once stood, clinging to memories that survived the blaze. Firefighters, exhausted but unwavering, reflect on the lives they saved and the battles they fought, while communities unite to rebuild what was lost. Though the fire has taken so much, homes, landmarks, and even lives, it could not take away the spirit of those who endured. This tragedy reminds us of both the fragility of our world and the extraordinary strength of the human heart. From the ashes, Los Angeles will rise, not just as a city healing its wounds, but as a beacon of hope for all who face life's fiercest storms. This is not the end. It's the beginning of a story about resilience, unity, and the power to rebuild against all odds.